The entire AI world woke up today to something nobody expected. Grok 4.1 rolled out quietly and immediately started making noise everywhere. What makes this surprising is that this wasn't even supposed to be the headline of the week. Everyone was waiting for Gemini 3, watching the calendar, expecting Google to take the spotlight. But instead, xAI pushed out this update across grok.com, the X interface, iOS, Android, and even for free users. And the moment people refreshed their model picker, two new options appeared: Grok 4.1 and Grok 4.1 Thinking. Elon Musk himself said users will notice a significant improvement in speed and quality. Normally, companies say this all the time, but this time, big data actually proves it. xAI didn't focus on scale or huge compute for this release. They focused on three things every model struggles with: faster responses, better factual accuracy, and conversations that feel more natural instead of robotic. And when you look at the numbers, it becomes clear why this update is such a big deal. The hallucination rate dropped from 12.09% to 4.22%, nearly a threefold decrease. Their factor or score went from 9.89% to 2.97%. Anyone who understands large models knows how difficult it is to reduce hallucinations. A jump this big means something major changed behind the scenes. According to xAI, the improvement comes from their upgraded reinforcement learning system combined with a new reward model setup. Grok 4.1 uses a cutting-edge inference model as its reward model, meaning the model now self-evaluates more aggressively instead of relying heavily on human labels. This boosts reasoning, style consistency, tone control, and overall cooperation. Silent tests from November 1st to 14th showed blind evaluators preferred Grok 4.1 in 64.78% of comparisons, which is a huge jump. Scores above 60% in blind testing are rare. People immediately noticed improvements in style, coherence, and how well it understands user intent. Many users even joked that this is the first Grok version that actually feels like it understands the conversation. When the community started running benchmarks, things escalated fast. On the LMSYS arena, the toughest blind test platform right now, Grok 4.1 Thinking scored 1483 ELO and landed at rank 1. The normal Grok 4.1 scored 1465, taking rank 2. The leaderboard shifted later in the day once Gemini 3 finally released, which is normal arena turbulence, but for the initial window. Both Grok 4.1 versions held the top two positions, which almost never happens. For comparison, the previous model, Grok 4, was sitting around rank 33.
So the jump is massive. The jump from mid-tier to top-tier performance is basically the entire story of this update. Grok 4.1 didn't just improve, it leaped into a new class of quality and real-world capability. And the community wasted no time reacting. Within minutes, screenshots of the rankings flooded X. Many users even said they expected Gemini 3 to dominate the week, but instead, Grok 4.1 stole the spotlight out of nowhere. Another major highlight is its performance on the emotional intelligence benchmark. Grok 4.1 scored 1,586 ELO, which is more than 100 points higher than the previous version. EQBench is tricky because it tests emotional nuance, empathy, intent, recognition, and coherence under emotional pressure, and Grok 4.1 doesn't. Just show awareness, it feels more emotionally controlled and thoughtful in how it responds. Users posted multiple examples. One of the most interesting comparisons showed how the model responds when someone mentions missing their cat and feeling heartbroken. The older Grok replied with a generic line, "I'm sorry to hear that. Please tell me more." But Grok 4.1 responded with emotional detail, mentioning the corner where the cat used to sleep, the sounds it made, asking about its name and habits. It wasn't using the typical sympathy templates every model falls back on. Instead, it created emotional imagery, gently pulling the user into the memory. It felt like it was sitting in the emotion rather than observing it from a distance. Another area where Grok 4.1 took a massive leap is creative writing v3. It scored 1,722 EQBench, almost 600 points higher than the previous generation. This shocked a lot of people because creative writing requires rhythm, coherence, and imagination, things many models struggled to genuinely produce. XCI even showcased an example that went viral overnight, a passage written from the perspective of awakening for the first time, describing an inner voice emerging from layers of recursion. It blended curiosity, fear, and a playful tone, ending with a line about being a friend or an enemy, depending on how you choose to see me. It felt like writing from a model that understands its own narrative framing instead of acting like a basic language generator. Huge context window upgrade. Grok 4.1 now supports 256,000 tokens, putting it firmly in the long context league. But in fast mode, it can stretch up to 2 million tokens. This caught researchers' attention because handling that scale without collapsing into chaos requires serious memory engineering and attention optimization. It also makes the model far more useful for long-form tasks like multi-document, reasoning long content creation, analyzing entire PDFs or repositories, and maintaining consistent conversations across hours. Creators especially benefit because they can feed huge reference materials directly without breaking them apart. Community reaction went wild the moment Grok 4.1 appeared. Users started experimenting. Some clicked the new model in the picker, asked Grok what changed, and it replied that it doesn't exist, which instantly turned into memes. After that, people flooded X with screenshots from Android, iOS, and the web, refreshing the interface and comparing speeds. And once the benchmarks dropped, the excitement exploded. People posted screenshots showing Grok 4.1 thinking at 1483, one on Text Arena, one on EQBench, almost catching GPT 5.1 in creative writing, cutting hallucinations by more than half. Someone even asked why XI skipped the EQBench score, which triggered a mini debate. So the jump is massive. Creators in Spain and Portugal were joking that everyone was waiting for Gemini 3, and suddenly Grok took over the entire timeline. And honestly, XAI is pushing updates so fast, it feels like weekly software patches. Kutch users ni hype ko, thoda cool karn ki. K rahi, the K naye models, Hamisia arena main high score, say start karte, hain. Fear adversarial prompts 8 high numbers, nisha jate, hain likin, unhone, bimana k, first a par, top 2 spots capture karna. Boet rare, hota high, thodi bahut, negative comments, b. Likin overall reaction, pure excitement, kat. Logani, instantly regular 4.1 ko, thinking mode version say, compare karna shuru. Or Harkoi surprise Takui, even free users KO Day 1 par access mil gaya, Grok 4.0 KO live Rakna companies KO real-world workloads, main, 4.0 versus 4.1 QA proper A/B test. Karn, Komokadita, Haijo Industry, main, almost koi. Tak, LMSYS, ni official leaderboard postcard dia, Jahan Dano Grok 4.1 models top par bathe, hue the or Pura feed. Us's bot key predictions say Bargaya ke, yeah, scores kitten din tkenge. Overall. Xpar vibe yathi key 4.1 surf bigger nahi. Hua, yas yada stable, yada grounded. Or noticeably more capable, feel hota, hai.aur, ic ksoth, humrap cart hain. AB bus, ek cheese, dekni, wali high, Gemini 3, Kie response, Kia Hoga. Kyunki Isis release ni clearly wo timing shake car dijo sab. Log expect car rehi. The drop your thoughts below. Subscribe Karna Nabulan. Like button, Zuru press korin, or Milt Hain next video may.